Something's broken, not cracked, not strained, broken. The social contract between men and women, it's not just fraying, it's been torched, buried, and danced on. And if you're a man trying to play by the old rules, be nice, be patient, be understanding. You're not just losing, you're being erased. This isn't a pity party, this is a systems audit. Let's get into it. For decades, men were told, be the provider, be the protector, be the rock. Do that, and you'll earn respect, love, a family, a legacy. But here's the kicker, the rules changed quietly, and no one told you. Now, you provide, and you're expected to shut up. You lead, and you're called controlling. You step back, and you're labeled absent. You speak up, and you're toxic. You stay silent, and you're complicit. It's a rigged game, and men are waking up to it. This isn't about hating women, it's about realizing the system doesn't reward your sacrifice anymore. It exploits it. Let's talk about the empathy gap. It's real, it's measurable, and it's weaponized. A woman cries about missing her kids. She gets sympathy, support, GoFundMe campaigns. A man does the same. He's told to man up, or worse, he's accused of being unstable. This isn't just cultural, it's institutional. Family courts, schools, media, they all run on the same operating system. Mom knows best. Dad's optional, even when he's present, even when he's competent, even when he's the one holding the family together. That's not equality, that's erasure. Let's zoom in on the courts. Default custody to the mother, visitation rights like you're a weekend babysitter, judges who assume you're less nurturing, lawyers who tell you to just accept it, evaluators who scrutinize your full-time job but never question hers. And when a few states try to pass 50-50 custody laws, the same people who scream equality suddenly panic. Why? Because it was never about equality. It was about advantage. And when that advantage gets challenged, the mask slips. Here's a hard truth. A lot of divorces aren't about abuse or irreconcilable differences. They're about leverage. If you know you'll get the kids, the house, and a check every month, walking away becomes a business decision, not a moral one. But when states pass equal custody laws, divorce rates drop. Suddenly, people are willing to work things out. Why? Because the nuclear option isn't profitable anymore. Equality changes incentives, and incentives shape behavior. Language matters. And the language has been hijacked. Mothers raise kids, fathers help out. Moms have instincts, dads have roles. Moms are empowered, dads are privileged. It's not just semantics. It's programming, and it's everywhere, from sitcoms to courtrooms to classrooms. Men are portrayed as bumbling, disposable, or dangerous. And when they push back, they're labeled bitter, angry, or worse. But when states pass equal custody laws, divorce rates drop. Suddenly, people are willing to work things out. Why? Because the nuclear option isn't profitable anymore. Equality changes incentives, and incentives shape behavior. Language matters, and the language has been hijacked. Mothers raise kids, fathers help out, moms have instincts, dads have roles. Moms are empowered, dads are privileged. It's not just semantics, it's programming, and it's everywhere, from sitcoms to courtrooms to classrooms. Men are portrayed as bumbling, disposable, or dangerous. And when they push back, they're labeled bitter, angry, or worse. But here's the twist. Men aren't angry because they lost power. They're angry because they were promised partnership and got servitude. Younger men aren't buying the deal anymore. They're opting out of marriage. They're demanding prenups. They're fighting for custody. They're refusing to play a game where the rules are hidden and the scoreboard is rigged. This isn't a crisis of masculinity, it's a recalibration. Men are done being nice, not because they've turned cruel, but because they've realized that nice in a biased system just means compliant. And compliance is not virtue, it's surrender. So what now? We build a new playbook. One based on actual equality, one where fatherhood isn't a punchline, one where men don't have to choose between love and legal annihilation. We organize, we advocate, we speak up, not with rage, but with clarity, with receipts, with resolve. Because this isn't about revenge, it's about balance. And balance isn't divisive, it's justice. The old world is gone, the one where you could follow the rules keep your head down, and expect a fair outcome, that world doesn't exist anymore. So what do? You stop outsourcing your value. You stop waiting for validation from a system that's designed to drain you. You stop playing a game where your effort is invisible and your pain is inconvenient. You start building your own metrics, your own scoreboard, your own tribe. Because here's the truth, the world doesn't care about your feelings, but it does respond to leverage. And leverage comes from clarity, discipline, and boundaries. You want to be respected? Stop begging for it. Start demanding it through action, not words. You want to be heard? Stop yelling into the void. Build platforms, build skills, build something they can't ignore. You want to protect your future? Then stop handing it over to people who see you as disposable. This isn't about bitterness. It's about boundaries. It's not about revenge. It's about resilience, and it's not about going your own way out of spite. It's about going your own way because the alternative is self-erasure. Let's talk about fatherhood because this is where the war gets personal. Fathers aren't just optional. They're essential, not because they're perfect, but because they bring something irreplaceable to the table: structure, discipline, presence, protection, and yes, love. But the system doesn't see it that way. It sees fathers as wallets, as threats, as liabilities. And when a man fights for his kids, he's treated like a criminal, like he's trying to steal something that was never his. But here's the thing, fatherhood isn't a privilege granted by the state, it's a birthright. And no judge, no lawyer, no biased narrative gets to rewrite that. So if you're a father, show up, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because your kids don't need a perfect man. They need a present one. And if you're not a father yet, start preparing now. Not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, strategically, because the system won't protect you, but you can protect yourself. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about masculinity. Not the cartoon version, not the media straw man, the real thing. Masculinity is not aggression, it's not domination, it's not emotional repression, it's responsibility, it's restraint. It's the ability to absorb chaos and still move forward with purpose. It's the man who shows up when it's inconvenient, who protects when it's dangerous, who provides when it's thankless. And that kind of man, he's not toxic, he's rare. But here's the problem. We've spent decades trying to neuter that man, mocking him, undermining him, replacing him with something safer, softer, more compliant. And now we wonder why everything feels unstable. You don't fix a broken culture by breaking its men. You fix it by calling them back to strength, not the strength to dominate, but the strength to endure, to build, to lead. And if that makes people uncomfortable, good. Growth is supposed to be uncomfortable. Let's talk about women for a second, not to blame, but to clarify, because a lot of women are waking up too. They're realizing that the empowerment they were sold came with a hidden cost: loneliness, burnout, disconnection. They were told they could have it all, but no one told them what all actually costs. And now, many of them are looking around, wondering where all the good men went. But here's the truth. The good men didn't disappear. They adapted. They withdrew. They stopped playing a game where effort equals exploitation. And if we're ever going to rebuild trust, it starts with honesty. Honesty about what we want, what we need, what we're willing to give, and what we're no longer willing to tolerate. Because partnership isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. And alignment only happens when both sides are willing to drop the mask. Let's bring it home. This isn't just a gender issue, it's a cultural one, a spiritual one, a civilizational one. When men are broken, families break. When families break, communities fracture. And when communities fracture, nations fall. This isn't alarmism, it's history. Every empire that collapsed, it started with the erosion of the family, the loss of masculine virtue, the rise of comfort over courage, and we're not immune, but we're not doomed either. Because the solution isn't out there, it's in here. It's in the man who decides to stop apologizing for his strength. It's in the father who refuses to be erased. It's in the young man who chooses discipline over dopamine. It's in the brotherhoods we build, the standards we set, the legacy we leave. So no, you're not crazy for feeling what you feel. You're not broken for wanting more. You're not toxic for refusing to be used. You're awake. And now that you're awake, you've got a choice. You can go back to sleep. Pretend it's all fine. Numb yourself with distractions, or you can rise, you can build, you can lead. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because the world doesn't need more nice guys. It needs good men, strong men, clear eyed, battle tested, mission driven men. Men who don't just survive the storm, but become the storm. So stand up, speak truth, set boundaries, and never again apologize for being the kind of man this world desperately needs.
Hard times are here. Jobs are disappearing fast. And if you lose yours, you could be homeless in a few months or even a few weeks. But it doesn't have to be that way. Check out Angry's Creator Academy and learn how to build your own online business using YouTube to grow it. And get the free creator blueprint when you sign up. The link's in description below. Go check it out now.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.